Alright. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm tired again. What can I say? Torso of a mammoth? I think that's one we already have. I think we already got the torso. The right wing of a pteranodon, that's one I know we already have. Oh, I have too many letters. Why do I do this to myself? What else do we got? Two more. Okay, let's see. From museum... read. Amber. Okay. Okie dokie. Open that. From the HRA, 11,000 points. Hey! We're doing pretty good, I guess. Alright. Well, let me go double check that this mammoth torso is in fact one we already have. And another tree. Would you look at that? Okay, so what I'm gonna do... I'm just gonna rebury the 1,000. I don't have a lot on me right now. I'm not that worried about it. I want to do some chores for villagers today, or like tasks or whatever. I want to ask them if they have anything they need me to do, and then if they say they do, then I want to do it. You know, you feel? I think it's been a couple days since I've done one. Wow, that's a long neck, isn't it? Yeah, so we got the mammoth torso. Cool. So we can go ahead and sell all of these. Why do I have 3 housing items on me? What are all these? We've got the hammock, the exotic bureau. Honestly, the exotic bureau we can sell. The stove can go in the basement for now. The hammock I haven't taken a look at. So why don't I check that out before heading over to Nook's. We can see I probably won't be keeping it, but might as well take a look just to see what it's like. So yeah, not a ton of game jam progress today. Kind of like yesterday. Yep, that's certainly a hammock. Kind of like yesterday. Today was mostly just bug fixing. I don't really know why I didn't get a lot done today. I think I was just generally unfocused. I think that was the problem. Because I had a lot of stuff I could have done today. But I did get everything resized for the new asset sizes and everything, so that's all functioning fine. And I got some new stuff in, so like I set it all up so that when you miss the parasite like projectile attack when you jump off of the host body and try to jump onto a new one, it creates like a new parasite on the ground, like apart from the projectile, separate from the projectile, and then you can move around sort of slowly as that parasite on the ground. You've got another barbershop pole. How nice is that? And a weird like 70s couch cream sofa. It looks really ugly, and I kind of love that. I'm gonna take it. Okay. I have to make sure not to Today was the wallpaper sale or whatever, wasn't it? I just forgot about that, didn't I? I certainly did. You've got a little spaceman here. Spaceman Sam. Hey, you know what? at Spaceman Sam. I mean, that's just a decorational piece that you have to put into a basement. You need to. That's how it works. I forgot to sell this exotic bureau. I'm gonna do that real quick. So yeah, I made it so when you miss the projectile, it spawns a little parasite-like character on the floor that you can then move around as and control. My idea was that then after like a certain amount of time, like 5 seconds or something, you would be able to launch yourself again towards an enemy and hopefully, you know, land the shot. And so I started getting it all set up where, like, you know, after 5 seconds, then you would be able to launch yourself and the parasite would... I forgot to sell the fucking hammock. That's fine. The parasite would delete itself and then spawn the projectile. And then in the middle of all that, I realized I was creating a circular dependency between the projectile and the parasite, and that's not good. You really can't be doing that in video games. And so, unfortunately, that was where I had to stop with development for the night, because this cream sofa has got to go down here too. Because I realized, oh man, I have to restructure this so that the parasite and the projectile are both in the same scene and like work in tandem with each other without getting in each other's way. And it wasn't so late that I, you know, like couldn't do anything at all absolutely anymore. But that was just kind of the next thing I needed to do, and the thing that I could have done after that, which was polishing up the character controller, I couldn't really do because one of the other programmers was working on enemy stuff, and the character controller is a part of the enemy class because of this weird design we have going where all the enemies are potentially at any time an enemy or the player character, depending on which one is infested. So I couldn't really edit it because I didn't want to create any merge conflicts. So I just decided that was where I was gonna leave off development for the night. But I did, you know, get some bugs fixed and I got the absolute basics for like the moving around as the parasite and stuff out of the way. So it wasn't like I accomplished nothing. And we did also hash out more design surrounding, or like theoretical design. Just like writing down ideas and stuff surrounding progression over the course of the run, and like different things we could do with that. So we have ideas for like, it's probably just going to be a system really similar to the mutations system and Nuclear Throne, because, you know, we're stealing everything else from Nuclear Throne, so might as well steal something like this. I don't know if we're gonna have like an XP bar, sort of like Nuclear Throne has, or not. Probably not. We're probably gonna think of some other way to do it so it's not entirely derivative. But it's probably gonna be something where you somehow unlock, you know, a quote-unquote mutation while you're in a level, and then between levels you choose a new mutation, and that like upgrades you and stuff. Need any help? Actually, Blair still hasn't returned my sweet organizer, and I totally need it back. Don't you hate it when someone borrows something of yours but never returns it, little hare? It really steams my broccoli. If you know how I feel, then please help me out, little hare. I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand what you mean by steams my broccoli. So I don't know if I know how you feel, but I'll still do it for you because you're my best friend, Pippi, okay? And that's what best friends do for each other. So I guess we gotta go find Blair now. So we've come up with a few categories for like what we could for like categories that those upgrades could kind of exist in. We have on infest effects, which is basically anytime you infest a new enemy, a specific thing or like set of things happens. On death effects, which is a little more complicated, it's so every enemy has an enemy health value that's like kind of hidden from the player, like in Nuclear Throne. You don't know how much health enemies have, you just kind of shoot them until they die. You don't know exactly, but I mean you can learn it over time. Because every enemy has a consistent amount of health. And then they also have the player health, where when you infest them, that's like your health. And they're two separate values because we thought it would just be frustrating with the fact that enemy health values are hidden from you. If like you're in a complicated situation and there are a lot of enemies around you and you don't know, like you can't keep track of what enemies have taken how much damage. You can keep track of like how much health every enemy has if you've taken the time to memorize it. That's totally reasonable, but to keep track of every single enemy on screen and exactly how much damage they've taken and everything is a lot. And so if you're unaware an enemy has like 1 health left and you go to infest them and then die immediately because you had no idea, that would just be really frustrating. So we wanted to have player health be a separate value to avoid that very specific situation. And then that also gives us a little more granular control, you know, if we want to, for some reason, make the health values, different. So, like, maybe the enemy health value is less than the player health value or something like that. I mean, traditionally in games, the player has much more health than enemy. Well, not necessarily. In like RPGs and stuff, enemy health values definitely scale much faster than player health values, but of course enemies do way less damage in RPGs and stuff. I think it's a little bit different with, you know, twin stick shooters and action games and stuff. Not that RPGs aren't action games. I'm not saying they're not action games. What was I saying? Okay, so this was all to explain the on-death effects, I guess. And I still can't find Blair. I'm sure she's around here somewhere. There's Blair. Which are every time you jump out of a host, it deals a certain amount of damage to the player health, which is just kind of a way of trying to encourage players to keep, you know, if they want to continuously infest new enemies, to keep infesting new enemies and not just bounce back and forth between like the same two, to try and take advantage of like the on infest effects or whatever. And also enemies are gonna have limited ammo, like for the player, that's gonna be kept track of even when the player is not you know, currently infesting one. So that's also going to encourage, like, not just constantly going back to the same one. Point is, every time you jump out of a host, it deals a small amount of damage to the player health. If that amount of damage would kill the host, would bring the player health equal to or below 0, then that would kill the host and then trigger the on-death effect. So that's that. Good evening. I didn't see you during the day today, did I? No, you didn't. I was busy, actually. I was working on the game jam like I'm talking about now. I'm picking up. You've come to pick up the organizer? Oh dear Nutlet, this is... Oh no. How should I put this? Quetzal took it. I'm sorry, but could you go talk to Quetzal? I'm afraid that's the only way to go, Nutlet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go talk to Quetzal. I think it was down here. So yeah, we've got the on-infest effects and on-death effects. What else do we have? I'll have to take another look at the milling out. I'm really good at this stuff. If you can't tell, I'm really good at game design and keeping track of everything that's going on. Howdy, good evening to you, Scree. Hey, listen, a thought just occurred to me. It's important to use your head now and again, Scree. So I'm doomed, I guess, Scree. Anywho, you probably want something, don't you? So what is it, Scree? I'm picking up. What's that? Can't hear you. An organizer? Nah, no idea what you're talking about right now. But now that I think about it, I did see Otis sneaking out of my house with something a while back. I didn't think much of it, but I'd go talk to Otis about it if you catch my drift, Scree. Okay. Well, it's another one of these, I guess. But that's fine. Let me double check here real quick. I can't believe I forgot the other things we were considering. Where are they? Here they are. The other ones would be projectile manipulation. So like anytime you shoot a projectile, something that changes how those projectiles work. Otis, I swear to fucking God, dude. You gotta work with me a bit here. It's been a long day. This is a nice house. Have I not seen this one before? This is cool. Evening, Jay. The sun went down, huh? So I guess it's about time to head home, I suppose. What's up, I suppose? I'm picking up. Here's Pippi's organizer. So, think you could swing by Pippi's place for me? I'm counting on you, I suppose. No joke. Cool. Well, that's the score. Get on it, I suppose. Perfect. Thanks, Jay. Otis. My name is Jay. His name is Otis. Thanks, Otis. Yeah, so, projectile manipulation, so like making projectiles bounce off walls, or like duplicating the amount of projectiles you fire when you fire. Hey, Pippi. Good evening, little hare. So what's going on, little hare? Delivery. This organizer. Oh, hey, you got my organizer back. Sweet. If I'd known getting it back was gonna be this easy, I'd have gotten it myself, little hare. It was not that easy. What do you think? Is some furniture a good reward, little hare? Yeah, I'll take it. When you say you're gonna do something, you just go right out and do it. I'm glad to know that, little hare. Well, thank you, Pippi. The modern table. That's probably not something I'm gonna be super interested in because I don't really like the modern items that much. But let's try it out here. Yep, not really into it. And then the final category for these upgrades would be just passive effects. So stuff like increased movement speed or increased ammo. We put eat corpse to heal on there in that section, but that doesn't really come off as a passive effect to me. That comes off more as an active ability. I don't really know what we were thinking with that. Maybe we'll have to make an active ability section as well. But that might be getting into like into too much to be done in a game jam territory. We'll have to see. I don't want to sell anything else, actually. Sorry, Nook. So that's what we're working on. We haven't actually implemented any of that yet. It's going to be interesting trying to do that. We're also sneaking up pretty close here onto a full week of Game Jam. I believe tomorrow is going to be day 7 of the Game Jam, of which there are 14. So we're burning through time, I'm starting to realize. And hopefully that won't be a massive problem in the future. I don't think it will be. I mean, we've been making good progress. So I think we'll be fine. I'm just not totally sure if we're going to be able to dedicate the entire second week to play testing and polishing like I'd hoped. But I mean, like I also already said, I didn't like, as much as that was my wish for that to be the case, I really didn't expect that to actually be the case. Nothing ever goes to plan in game development, so you just kind of have to plan for things to not go to plan, or at least expect things to not go as planned, and just, you know, do your best with what you've got and the information you've got, and as long as you do that and you roll with the punches, then you'll have a good time making the game. I mean, game development is always stressful, so like, that's an inevitability. Another gyroid. A mini echoid. Okay, I want to check that out. But yeah, I mean, we've been, I say this every time, but we've been having a good time. So, you know, even if it almost feels like we're not quite as on track as I previously felt like we were. What do you sound like? Okay, that's interesting, I guess. I'm still really happy with what we're working on and the progress we have made. It's just like, you know, as we continue on with the game, we find more work that we didn't realize we had to do before, and we keep finding more work that we didn't realize we had to do before, and so it all just starts to pile up, and then you realize, oh, we weren't actually ahead, we just, you know, had all this stuff we didn't realize needed to be done, I guess. And so we didn't realize we were behind. Not that we are behind. I don't think we're behind compared to what I think we expected we were. But we're definitely not, like, I'm not concerned about missing the deadline or like not being able to put together what I think is a finished product before the deadline. But we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. And I think that's actually about it for what I wanted to talk about with the Game Jam. I don't think I have anything else. That's crazy. What a momentous occasion this is. I can finally shut the fuck up, and hopefully I can find this money rock. Alright, you know what? I can't find the money rock. I think I've tried basically everything, and I'm really fucking tired. So I'm gonna mail these fossils, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Okay. Yeah, so, guess that's about it. Don't really got much more to say. I'm like ready to pass out right now. So I'm gonna go do that. So I will see you tomorrow.